Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Factional Fight Plays Wurm Online. My name is Adam, and this over here is my brother Brian.
Hello, everyone.
And today is going to be a very strange episode, I think. Already you could probably see that we have some differences going on here. Today I'm going to show you a side project that I've been working on alongside the Labyrinth project. And as well, Brian over here is not going to be playing along with us.
I have some issues, but can't let these issues stop me from being on this episode. So here I am. I don't know. Adam, take over. I can't see anything, by the way. I am looking at a blank phone. So I don't know what's going on. We're just going to talk about Wurm a bit. We're going to discuss. I think over the last week, there's been quite a lot that's happened in the actual development of the game, or at least the reveal of stuff. I don't know. Even since the last week, we were talking about the experimental pack.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And now you don't even need that. So I don't know. What do you think, Adam?
I mean, like what exactly you're talking about? Experimental pack?
All the updates. Before, in the experimental pack, they announced that you could get a bunch of updates if you use the experimental client.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. You mean the unstable client is what you're talking about.
The unstable client, there you go.
Well, anyway,
Same thing.
We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to be showing you my new project, and so yeah, stick around and we'll have some fun. And we're back. So today, as I've mentioned, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of my side project, which is going to be a boat mine or boat tunnel that's going to connect my little area to the larger, grander area to the north, and also to some side lakes that we're going to see, and I'll show you it all. Yeah, so Brian, how are you doing?
I am sort of, not doing the best, but I'm surviving in this white background. And I'm gonna pretend that I can see what's going on. Wow, this cave looks amazing so far. Wow.
So I'm just going to start by showing you a map of where we are. This here is Vrock's Landing, or V Rock's Landing, or I don't know how to pronounce it. And over here is My Deed Winter's Night. And I'm going to show you a image that I created. Let's see if I can get that bigger. And this is the plan for the boat mine, to go from My Deed all the way across to connect to this lake. Now the reason why I want to do that is because, is that if you take a look at the world map over here, let's see if I can move it to a better spot, and there is a boat mine that already connects these two lakes here. And there's a boat mine that connects this lake to the north. So if I do succeed in completing a boat mine here, it'll give me access to the North Shore, and it would reduce travel times significantly for not only myself, I'm sure, but anybody else in this area. This area here is pretty locked down, and the only way out is to go all the way around south and out this little hole here. So yeah.
So you're saying that there's going to be a public mine?
Yeah.
A boat mine?
Yeah, it's going to be a public boat mine. Exactly. Let's get rid of that. And sort of just to give you a sense, I'm going to show you from the outside of my deed here of how it's going to look when you're coming towards this area. So I planted this deed. We chose this spot because it has this nice little rounded, I don't know what to call it. It's like a little K or something like that. And that tile right there is a perfect spot for a boat tunnel. I didn't really have to do much surface mining. In fact, I couldn't because it's all clay around it. And just opened it up. I flattened the top, and it was a perfect entrance for a boat tunnel. And that tunnel is going to go right through. Now, I had to do this diagonal bit here. Sorry. Put my cursor there. I had to do my diagonal bit here because there's a deed right in this spot and I didn't want to go right through it. And I've also talked to the owner of this deed over here, and he said it was all good if I put a boat entrance right next to his deed. I hope nobody deeds over there, and if they do, hope that they let me through. I tried to pick a path, and I've walked this path many times to avoid any deeds. It comes pretty close to this guy up here, but it's off his perimeter by quite a distance still. And maybe he might want to connect a tunnel to the boat mine, give himself access to the water. I don't know.
Hey, free water. Free tunnel. Why wouldn't you? How long have you been working on this thing?
It hasn't been that long, actually. I probably started it a few weeks ago, maybe at most. Actually,
how far have you gotten?
It's not true. I actually opened up I've opened up the tunnel a long time ago, and I had this little water area that I'm looking at right now. Sorry for the crappy graphics. I don't have my GLSL turned on, and for some reason the water reflects when I look in some ways and it doesn't when I look other ways. Anyway, let me get rid of this so everyone can see. I opened this tunnel. I dug out this water a long time ago, and it sort of went to about here for the longest time. And then I just started doing it. Like I had this plan for a long time, and I just was like, okay,
one day you're just like, yes,
start it now.
I'm doing it today.
So I'll run down it just a little bit here just to show everybody. I got the ceilings really high over here by mining up and then mining the ceilings. But then I said forget that. Like I'm not going to do that the whole way. So here it's just it's here I'm just mining the ceilings. That's all from the floor.
It's like from here to here I was motivated. From here to here, you can tell when I got lazy.
Well, you know, I did it on my deed. You know, I was doing that on my deed, and then when I got to the edge of my deed, I stopped. So here's the diagonal part. I ran into a couple iron veins here, but those will soon be out. And I'm currently working on putting an extra tile wide here for a walking path. So there should be a walking area along the side, or a cart path, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, there's a deer that made its way into here.
Or a deer path.
Yeah.
Do they still run away when you're in your mine? When you're in the mine?
You know, I was working on the mine, and I don't think it was this deer. It might have been this deer. Came up to me. Didn't seem to run away.
Oh, so they don't.
Yeah. And then here is where, this is about where we got so far. At this point, I stopped being lazy and decided, you know, from here on in, we're just going to mine up and flatten the floor so that we keep... Because it got kind of crazy. Like, the uneven floor started getting way uneven, and it started going below the water. And I can only imagine after going 800 tiles, it's going to be completely uneven. So from now on, we're going to mine up and flatten the tiles so the whole cave is flat.
Good.
And that's pretty much it. Like this goes for another maybe 20 or 30 tiles or so.
How much more?
Oh, I estimate it's from beginning to end. It's going to be about 800 tiles or something like
Wow.
that. And we probably got to at most, if I include this 20, 30 tiles, which is not fully complete, we probably got to 100 or something like that. Now this area here, this big gaping opening here, is a connection to Valiance's deed. That deed that I said is right here. It's actually Kaylee's deed. And they connected their mine to it and made this grand opening to it. And they're going to mine this all down, so it's going to be a boat. It's going to be water, so they can have their boat access to it. And I'm thinking that if you take a look, sorry, over here, so it's right here. By putting a mine through this area, it could encourage people to plant deeds down here in this area and connect themselves to that mine, so they have connection to water.
To have lots of signs.
Sure, yes. I mean, it would have to be marked on the community map, and we would spread the word. I guess anybody who watches our videos or whatever could just plant a deed somewhere. This whole area is completely unsettled. Along this whole ridge here, it's all unsettled, and there's a road. This is the main highway that connects Glass Hollow to Vrox. So, and there's quite a bit of maintenance gone into it. It's still not fully perfect, but it's a road nonetheless. And you can plant your deed or whatever. This whole area, and this here is our labyrinth on the map. I love this map dump because it's like you can see the stage at which we were in when this image was taken. Like the rock is kind of exposed here, and the dirt is just, so we completely exposed the rock there before moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I know like living inland is not for everybody, but this is sort of like an in between. Like you'll be isolated from everybody.
So, yeah.
Kind of connected.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, it unlocks an entire line of land to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have a piece of a coastal deed, sort of, maybe, not really. To have a boat.
Yeah, to have
it's
a boat.
The best of both worlds.
I mean, if you now, I heard, and I don't know if you can I'm pretty sure this is confirmed, that even if you're on your deed and you are making a boat, anybody else can come along and finish that boat and own it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not sure why that is. Doesn't seem to make sense.
To allow people to help.
Yeah, but couldn't you add access for specific people to your deed to allow them to help?
Maybe, or they could make it so only the owner or a person that started it could finish it. But then if you find a half-made boat, then you wouldn't be able to ever finish it.
I suppose, but I mean,
maybe have it so it's only on deed.
Yeah, if the boat is on your deed, I can't see any reason why
you
somebody
want
could come along and
permissions,
finish
basically.
it. I would like permissions to take care of that because, like, for example, let's say you wanted to make an underground boat making area right next to this tunnel. Like, let's say I wanted to make this whole area a boat making area. It's on my deed, and yet if I have an unfinished boat here, somebody can come along and just finish it and own it.
Yep. That's why whenever we made a shipping place, it was always in a house. It was like the only way to protect it.
Right. And it used to be that you could start and finish a boat in a cart. I don't know, can you still do that now?
I feel like you might still be able to do that. I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't tried it.
Hmm.
You can always try it. Maybe not. Maybe it finishes. Eh,
I kind of
yeah, I don't
remember there
know.
was like
That wouldn't make sense.
that message that said like
They were going to change it or something like
after
that.
May of 2011, you will no longer be able to build, complete this object inside this cart, and yet you can still do it. I don't know if that got fixed. But anyhow.
I never tried it, so never really had the need to try it because we always had our own big boat making house. And
Yeah,
since
that's right.
then, I haven't really made any boats except that Nar that I haven't finished yet. Hopefully, that remains unfinished for a very long time. Just to get on Kaneka's nerves. Huh? Well.
Maybe I'll just have to go in there and finish it for you.
Another thing, I have a Nar that how many months has it been? It's been a lot of months where I got down to like one peg or something like that left.
One peg.
And it was just sitting there with one peg left to finish. And I just haven't finished it. I haven't had time, and I was waiting to see what the new wood types would look like, and they still haven't come, so I don't know, I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a brand new Nar when I find out that it's not the wood type that I wanted. So I'll just keep a Nar that only has one more piece to be finished. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not going to travel by boat.
So I'm excited to see all these changes that are coming recently. Like, they have been keeping to their word when it comes to the summer of bug fixing. You know, I think a lot of people were worried for a while there that it was going to sort of end and the summer would end and there would be no more updates and then they'd go right to implementing something new. But they...
I mean... Oh. Keep going, sorry.
Yeah, no, they seem to be still going, and I can't see it stopping.
There was a while where they like went on vacation, and then there was nothing really happening, and
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, that the unstable client came by, and that's what we were talking about in the last episode, where all these changes were happening, and changes that we sort of wanted for a long time, like the window. All your windows would basically save the space as long as you stay in the game. I mean, to start. I mean, that we've been wanting for the longest time. Or let's not, and this was an update that happened I can't remember how many weeks ago this happened, but when did they make it so cauldrons can fit into ovens? Let's not downplay that.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, I don't know, I've always been wondering, why did they make this cauldron? Like, it's like you make soup or something in a cauldron. And you can't put it in the only oven that you can make in this game. You can only fit it in a forge.
Now it seems like our stream has gone offline. I'm not sure. I might need to stop the stream. Let's try that.
That might also stop. No, it might not stop the recording. So we should be okay if you want to upload this later.
Yeah. Well, I stopped the stream and okay, there we go. And we'll try it again.
We're back.
I don't know. We'll see in a second.
This is why I always record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot better when you do it. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I've already lost the chat. And I can't get it back.
This is why I always record.
Yeah.
How do you lose a chat?
I don't know. I couldn't get it to come back and it wasn't working properly. can
You
try to
can
get
see
it
what's in the
back.
chat, so you can talk to people.
I will try to get it back. Nope. Anyway. The chat's not coming back. That's the final. Oh, wait. Something that I did it.
Something that you did it.
Well, I
That's
mean, I was
great.
doing the same
Yeah.
thing over and over again, and eventually it just did something different than it had always done before. So figure that there's the chat. Now, I was sifting through a lot of the updates, like the little points. What do they call them?
All the updates.
All the
Yeah.
updates. And I noticed one that has a very
All the
interesting
changes.
potential for fixing our issue that we're having with the mine in the labyrinth.
Really, what is it?
It's like, let me go get the wording, but it's like they fixed the collision system with the wall, which seems like such a small thing.
Fix the collision system with the wall. Is that the one where they fixed it so you can't see through?
Here, I'll get the exact wording. It says, it says, there was actually two that made me think that they are working on that specific problem.
We thought there was another one where we thought that it fixed it in a previous update of some kind, and they ended up not fixing it at all.
Okay, so here it is.
So
It doesn't sound like it was specifically addressed.
Up?
It doesn't sound like it was specifically addressing the situation that we were having, but it said made wall collisions longer and wider, so you can't see through the corners now.
Made wall collisions wider and longer. I don't know. What do you think?
I think
it's possible, but they had to have fixed something that makes it so when you come out of a mine, that the collisions actually matter.
Do you think that's what the problem was? Is that because you're in a mine, the wall wasn't even, like, you're not interacting with the wall?
Yeah, there's some bug.
That might actually be a harder one to fix if it's a problem with the mine system in general.
Or just the character exiting from the mine.
One really good one, and I don't think we mentioned this. You think we mentioned it, but I don't think we mentioned this, and that's the drop as a pile hotkey.
It's worth mentioning again. We mentioned it a long time ago, and I think I really wanted, or we were mentioning that it made a lot of sense that dirt piles, that when you drop dirt, it drops as a pile, like it drops on the ground like all the other items.
Yeah.
And that it should be a different hotkey to drop dirt into the ground, because that's the only thing that you can drop into the ground.
I know.
It's like the only item in the entire game, I mean, other than sand and that sort of thing. But I think sand's the only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like now you can actually bind it. That's a good step, right?
Absolutely. Somebody says, "Holy cow, you're mining fast."
Yeah, I can see how fast you're mining. Wow, that is fast. But is your pickaxe really high quality? It's your pickaxe, right?
It's
like
a
really
couple
high
things.
quality.
My pickaxe is high quality.
How do you get to mine that fast?
My pickaxe currently is 95.5. It has a 95 Wind of Ages. I don't think that's decayed yet. That's still 95 Wind of Ages. And my mining skill is above 94 somewhere.
Nice.
So yeah, I had to imp this originally to 97, And when it's like just at that level, it's insane. Like the
And your
first,
pickaxe rare.
that's
Isn't
right,
it?
and it's rare, so you get that extra .1. I think even now my first 10 actions. Let's try to queue up 10 actions. Or 5. So at 5, my actions are 2.9. Ugh, and the wall broke. I think they're all under 3, or the last one might be 3 or something like that. Anyway, it's good.
Like all of your, what, 5 actions did you say, or 6?
10. Like if I queued up 5 actions. Oh, actually, I have 6
And then
now.
queued up another 5?
And I queued up another 5 right after it, like just in succession. It would be every action. The last one's like
3 seconds.
Yeah.
Which means all the ones before that has to be either 3 or below.
2.7, 2.8, 2.9.
Wow.
It's really nice.
That's insanely
It's
fast.
worth it. It's worth it to get your mining skill up, and that's, I mean, like, it's what makes this type of project feasible. Because
It's worth it to get your mining skill up. While you're trying to tell me something, my mining skill is not high. I should go and get my high mining skill up.
yeah,
Yeah, I think my mining skill is only around 60 something. So it's not that great. I'm not a miner. I leave that to you.
yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah. We did divide skills when we first started playing. I don't know if you remember that.
And you instantly went, I'm the blacksmith and miner. Like, that was your calling or whatever. And I said, okay, what's left? Guess I'll be the guy that works with wood.
I guess I'll be the guy who does everything else, because that's pretty much what you did.
Yeah, it's hard when you're sort of working with lots of skills. Like, what do you work on?
Yeah.
One day I'll work on carpentry, wood cutting. The next day I have to work on masonry. There was a while where I just decided I'll work on pottery, because that seemed like a useful skill at the time. But that's pretty much it. Fine carpentry, I don't know.
Now,
And more recently I did leatherworking.
There was one thing that was mentioned in the patch, not the weekly update or whatever it is, that really caught my interest, and that was the village plan view, or some kind of 2D representation of your in-game village. And it will be an in-game window that you can use to look around, and it'll show you like a top-down view of your village, essentially, which might not seem like all that great, but they mentioned that you'll be able to export a file of it that can be opened by Deed Planner.
Yeah, this is something they just mentioned recently, right?
Like on Friday.
On the update on Friday. I don't know. What is your take on it? You seem like you like this idea?
I love it. I mean, I gave up on my current deed plan of my current deed because it has so many different levels with tons of different ramps, and I got like maybe 70% of it in, but it got to the point where I would have to like you're going tile border by tile border and customizing like the heights of every single tile border. It's crazy, like, amount of time. I think I must have put in like a bunch of hours just trying to get the levels that I've got in there right. And I got enough in there that I'm planning all the buildings that are on those levels, but I didn't finish the last little bit of it, and it's just really annoying because of all the little details that have to go into it. So this seems to take care of all that.
I wonder how much we'll go into Deed Planner. First of all, like, will the height of the slope of all the dirt be put in there? I know currently I don't think that you can put bridges in Deed Planner. Are those going to be added?
Yeah.
How much will Deed Planner be updated to fit this new expansion of this deed thing, and how much will the deed thing be able to export information into this Deed Planner file? But really, if I had to look at the actual update, the actual feature, I don't know. It depends on how it's implemented. Because you know me, you know that I like being immersed in the world. I like the whole roleplay aspect when we first started, and I've always said that they're deviating more and more. And like with the map update and the crafting window and all this stuff, like where does the crafting window come from? Or am I holding a crafting station in my pocket or something? Like I don't know. When it's just like a window, I don't like it. So if I can see where this is coming from, I'd much rather have it be something like maybe, I don't know, use papyrus and use papyrus to get your character to map out your deed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something that makes sense in the game, and then when I'm looking at it, make it look like a, you know, sketchy, not perfect.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Although that would be great for the map
Overlay
system.
it with a cloth overlay or something.
Like, I like that idea for the map system, and I know Buddha had answered the reason why it was just a database.
Yeah, I understand that.
Nightmare.
Which makes me wonder how they're going to do this deed planner. I'm assuming it's just going to be locally. That's why they can get away with it,
right?
Because it's not actually saved online or in any sort of database.
It could be.
At the same time, it would still make sense if it was an item, even if the item was no drop, like you couldn't trade it.
I don't know if it's a local thing, but I have a feeling that it's because it's such a small area. It's only your deed.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like it's probably just on the client side. It's just on your computer, and you can't show it to anybody or share it.
But
you can share it.
But the question is, on your computer, is there information about the heights of each tile border? Is that saved on your computer, or are we fetching that from the servers? You know what I mean?
You might be fetching it from the server and then putting it into a file somewhere.
Maybe
on your computer.
Could be.
But that file, I don't think, would be stored on the server.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think there'll be a file, an item that has all the information stored on the server that you can trade. That would be cool, though. Save your deed in papyrus, and then be able to trade the papyrus to somebody. And
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Although it almost seems like you can do that, like
out of the
game, right? Like you could send somebody that file if you wanted to, but yeah, not in game.
So it's not stored on the database or in the server. It's just stored locally.
Yeah.
But it would still make more sense if it was an item in the game. I don't know, just something. I don't know, everything that's added, or make it so it's not really a part of the game. Put it in like a setting somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put it in the settings.
Kellerkind asked, "Where is this tunnel going?" I'll show the boat mine one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the map dump of the area. And it's going to connect, this is my deed here, it's going to connect my deed to the lake that's to the right. No, here, wait. Still getting used to this, so you can see my cursor there. Yeah, so it's going to go through here and connect to this lake that's over here. And just to get a sense of where this is in the world, this is Vrock's Landing, right here. And it's going to connect this peninsula, or whatever, I don't know if you call it, this is like this lake-ish area. Like right now, the only way out of my deed is this way, and I have to go out to the west coast. But since this lake here is connected to this lake through some boat tunnel here, and this lake here is connected to the north through some boat tunnel, it'll allow me to get to the north shore without having to go all the way south, west, and all the way around the whole world. So that's my story. It is an awfully long tunnel. I estimated it based on the pixels and the just some running that I did. I estimated it to be about 800 tiles, or maybe just a bit less than 800. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it does, but again, so far it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, so far we're like about 100 tiles in. And so,
are you gonna illuminate it with a bunch of colorful lamps?
So I have already made some lamps for this starting area. I'm placing a lamp every 6 tiles.
And the most important question, what color would you make your tunnel?
Currently dyed them white with the RGB values
uninspiring.
244, which is pretty good. I know, it's just me being lazy because white is really easy. Yeah, pretty much spend 40
I
hours.
Figure that
Buddha says spend 40 hours making a tunnel to save the odd hour or 2 sailing the Wurmian way. Yep.
There you go.
Pretty much.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, you should maybe color the tile different colors depending on how far you've gone into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Give yourself a little bit of a hint.
I could probably do that. I figured just for now put the white to make it brighter for now, but yeah, that might be a good idea. This must be the backup lag. Okay.
All right, now there has been a bunch more changes to the game. I mean, what was in the update that they gave us? The patch notes and then the most recent news update.
There's the windows. Remember where they are? That's really nice.
Finally.
Although, you know, I wish that I don't know if there's a reason why they didn't do this, but I wish that it would remember after you log out and log back in.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is a good start, which means that hopefully this is not the end. It depends on how much work it would be, but you never know.
Yep.
What else has happened? Trying to remember.
There's just
more on the permission system.
Right there. Well, I mean, like,
more's coming, and they keep. I think Titch keeps making posts about it and asking opinions about how she wants it to work. But it looks like it's shaping up.
Yep. Yep. It looks like it's shaping up.
Can't complain. I just can't wait. Just release it already. We need it now.
There's also a new launcher that looks really nice. Like, it looks pretty slick.
What's funny is the only thing about that launcher is that they said, here's what it looks like. Look, it's all looks cool. This is what it's going to be like. It's not coming anytime soon.
Really?
that's what it says at the end. And I'm like, what? It's not coming anytime soon. It's just a launcher thing, right? It's not a big deal, but it'll appear when it appears. Guess they need to talk about
a while away yet. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's too far. Just a while away.
Still a while away. What's a while? So if soon means like, I don't know, what do you think? 2 weeks to, let's say, 4 months. What would a while be? 4 months to something or other.
So Buddha says it'll be fairly soon. Just a few things we have to do on it. So yeah.
All right, so
hopefully that's good.
Fairly soon. It's upgraded to fairly soon.
And Buddha asks, "Are you on your phone or something?"
Am I on my phone? Yes, I am on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is quite a weird cast. I'm barely making it. I'm probably gonna have to go soon, but you can't keep me away from Wurm even if I don't have my computer.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. We were at first saying we're not going to do a cast, and then we thought, I'll just pop in, and it'll be more like a off the cuff. Well, more off the cuff than normal, and just not even. This is sort of what I'd be doing if we weren't doing an episode. This is sort of my. my
Adam,
project.
and you know, this is the only time that we really get to talk all week, so it's like
Yeah, pretty much.
our time
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on.
See, we do these casts more for us than we do for. I mean, we do it to show everybody, but we mostly do it because we have fun doing them, and just to chat about Wurm and talk about stuff that's going on. And
you know what? Even when the videos don't go, we're talking about the same exact topics and the same exact things.
I know. That's what we talk about.
That's why back in the day when we decided, why don't we just turn on the camera and do exactly what we always just talk about anyway?
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So today's no different. Just looks different from a different angle on my phone.
Now, another thing that they're working on that I like is that they're working on the bridges when they're off deed and their decay, because there's an area where I'm interested in putting a bridge to make, because I'm currently running up this hill every single time it's through a forest, and I just want to make a bridge through there, but it's off deed, and I'm worried that if I place a bridge there that it'll just decay. But it seems like
do you know anything about bridges and
I know that
how much they decay?
At first, they wanted it to be like roads, where if people are walking on it, it prevents decay. But then there was lots of reports saying that that wasn't happening, and it almost seems like every update there's some mention about. So in this one, it says
they like trying to get that to work, and they haven't.
Fix for bridge decay. That's what they put in this one. Which is pretty elusive. Like, it's very hard to tell what that means, but
it fixes decay. What's so like hard about that?
I don't know. But hopefully it's related to off-deed decay, and that it helps it so that bridges don't decay when they're off-deed but well-traveled. That's what I'd like to make sure of before starting a big bridge there.
Hopefully they last. That's all. They're just gonna put all that effort into it,
right?
You know, to connect a canyon or something. If it lasts, then you're okay.
Yep.
Or maybe if it's easy to repair as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kellerkind asking, am I trying to make sure that the floor is all flat? Because if so, I might know a neat trick to make sure it's flat every single time. That would be interesting.
Ooh. What is this neat trick you speak of?
Yes, what is this neat trick? Because I would... Now, if it involves concrete, I might not be partial to that trick. Never mind, I noticed you're using that trick already, he says. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so to make sure that the floors are flat, I'm mining up, and then I am mining the floor flat, essentially. I know that it's about 20 actions, but it could be 19, and it could be more, 22 or something like that, or whatever. There's a give or take of 2 or something. And I lost count. And so I'll just mine it down like this a few times.
You know what I feel like that they should do is make it so the flatness of the tile that you mine should be more flat or almost flat as you level up your mining. So the better miner you are, the more flat the ground is when you mine forward.
Yeah, that would be good. That would make sense.
At your point, like you're 94, it should basically be flat.
Right. Right. That's a good idea, to make it so that the higher your mining is, the more flat it comes out.
Yeah. So therefore, newbie mines look like junk.
Yeah.
And then as you level up, your mines start looking better and better.
Right. Because I'll be honest. Like, I don't mind doing this, but it is a little bit annoying.
Tedious?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that, like, I can level it. I can stand here on this flat tile and level this after this is done. but it's actually faster for me to stand on it and mine the floor because my actions are only 2.9. Whereas if I level, it'll be 5 seconds per action. So besides, it's just nicer to do the actual mining. It's the same with digging. Like I'll often choose to dig instead of level.
Yeah, it's more control in what you're doing. Like telling it, in order to do this, you have to do this workaround.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to do that. I don't want to do the workaround.
See, I'll use level if I want to AFK or play another character or something, but for the most part, I'll just use regular dig. Besides, there's like chances of getting emeralds and rare bones by digging.
So I'm hoping that at this point, I mean, it's the end of August, that some talk has started on what the next big project will be.
Mm-hmm.
At least initial discussions. I assume that all the devs are back and some IRC chat is starting to happen, and we are seeing some updates right now that are coming in, which are nice updates, nice side projects. I do like the changes that are coming. Did we know? Is there any like artwork changes? Oh, the hats.
Right.
I think the biggest thing that came into the announcements is that we can wear a cow now on our head.
Yep.
I'm hoping that at some point, if we can wear a cow, that the black bear will also be wearable at some point. Viewable.
Yeah.
That would make sense. To have two types of bears, that would be nice. Cow, that's wow.
Now
I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, but you know,
how about bull?
You won't be able to butcher a cow and wear it. The only way to get that cow is to kill the Troll King? Or is it the goblin?
To get a cow.
Or is it the goblin? What is it called? Yeah, the Troll King and the goblin leader. That's what it is.
Wow.
They're drops off the uniques.
I see. Wow.
So yeah,
that's interesting.
Which is good that they're putting in more unique items. That's an economy booster for sure. But that just also means that I probably won't be getting one.
Yeah. How about that other one, the rooster one, or the other one?
Yeah, that's the goblin leader one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess so.
You know what I'm waiting for is craftable.
Give us some more
masks.
Yeah, give us some more options.
Craftable capes. Craftable shoulder items.
The rest of the slots.
Yeah, the rest of the slots that are there that have been there since the new. What do they call it? The new inventory character window or whatever it is.
Yeah. Hopefully with some Wurmian twists.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. So the question I need to ask is, when am I getting my tree houses?
Yeah, tree houses.
Sometime soon?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. 1, 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
1, 2 years, maybe. Just a thought. Anyway, back on track.
Yeah.
The update's looking good. The fact that last week we had to get the unstable client to run this update, and then a week later there's been 2 updates already, and all the stuff that was in the unstable client, or at least most of what we were liking about it, is now in the stable client.
Right.
The regular client is...
I also heard that there's a lot of
stability,
stability issues that were resolved, like crashing and
That's good.
lag and that
Oh,
stuff.
and what do you think of this whole Java 8 thing? That thing's now live. You have to have Java 8 in order to
Right.
run the game. How many people did that affect? Did the forums, I don't know,
Explode with
go crazy at all
no, you know,
with
in fact,
people running Java 7?
no, I don't think that really anybody. I didn't. There might have been a couple, but not enough for me to see it because I didn't see anybody having issues. There must be a technical issues thread regarding that, but I didn't notice.
But no big uproar, so that's good. Maybe
Right.
it's not as big of a problem, and it could have much more benefit to the game than
Right.
the downside.
Like hopefully, I know that the lights are something that had been worked on in the past, and I think they're better than they ever were. But like things like what we can see on my screen right now is where like in the distance, it's like all there's something going on with the lights back there that's not right. And I know that Java 8 was something about lighting is in there. Maybe.
I know that I wouldn't mind getting a list or some sort of a list of reasons or features that Wurm can now work on or implement because of Java 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we went to Java 8, we can now do this A, B, C,
You know,
D, and E.
I've noticed that they don't ever mention things like that because then, and I kind of agree with it because if they do, then they might be held accountable for doing those A, B, C, and D. And then if, let's say, one of them doesn't work out or one of them they decide it's just not a priority, then it'll be like, well, you know, Cold Club said they're going to do this, but they never did, and it's like a negative toward from the community. Regarding
Just say
it, so.
like it unlocks the ability to work on things that we've never been able to work on
And
before.
that's actually what
such
they
and
said.
such and such.
Well, they haven't said the such and such and such, but if you actually look through the Java 8 stuff, it's pretty clear that some of the
Look through the Java 8 stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I can not be, I can be proactive, but
yeah.
you can just do it for me.
So Buddha says the Java 8 was 50% for the new launcher and 50% because Java 7 had hit EOL, which is probably end of life.
So the new launcher, there you go.
Yeah.
Features, because of Java 8, we'll get a nice new launcher. I can live with that. And the end of life, that is definitely a big deal.
Yeah.
Although, didn't Java 6 meet the end of life, and they cancel out Java 6 before?
Yeah, I don't know. My feeling is that it's like it's equivalent to, let's say you have a game or something that's on iOS, and then iOS goes to iOS 9. But if you don't update to iOS 9, then you're sort of not keeping up with the times. So this is a good thing.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, hopefully it's just good overall, just to stay updated.
Yeah, and Buddha said they switched to Java 7.
Features.
They switched to Java 7 when 6 hit the end of life.
There you go. It makes sense. Anyway. So yeah, what else happened? Not much.
Well, I haven't really had a chance to work on the Labyrinth, and you haven't really had a chance
what have you been
to
doing this
play.
week? I haven't had as much chance to play. That's true. That's true.
I've been doing a variety of things. Like this is one thing that I've been working on. I did the lamps. I made 50 of them, and I know Kaneka helped with some support beams that are going to go in very soon. I started on it, and
so it's all the mine.
Yeah, the mine.
The boat mine.
Then there was a bunch of
it.
priest stuff I've been working on as well. Working on my Nacho priest.
Your what priest?
I don't know how to pronounce it. Najo. Najo?
Oh.
But everybody calls it Nacho. So that's what I've been doing.
Nacho. I'd like to eat a nacho priest. What priest did you get that from?
I switched our...
Did you convert somebody?
I converted our foe.
Oh, okay. That
Our
makes sense.
our foe was a baby foe, so it was on its way up, and then the new gods came out, and I was like, and everybody was saying, well, the Najo priest is pretty much overpowered, and the only reason why I wanted the foe was for Genesis. That's and maybe somewhere down the line I might want to do life transfer.
Overpowered, you mean overpowered for PvE or overpowered for PvP or both?
I don't know anything about PvP, but in PvE for sure. Because number one, its sack item, like its favorite item, is healing cover mats, which you can use
Yeah.
wemp plants and corn for. So you farm 90 quality wemp, and then you sacrifice that, and it sacrifices as if it was a 90 quality item.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you don't have to make any sack items, which is a huge plus. And then on top of that, the spells are life transfer, WOA. It has Aesop, Courier, Genesis, Strongwall. What am I missing? I mean, there's a bunch of other ones, but these are like the ones that make it overpowered. Like it has pretty much the best of all of the priests.
Almost the best of all of them. Wow.
You know, it's like I was talking to somebody who was saying, "Oh well, if you wanted to make a animal breeder, you still would want a foe."
Yeah.
And I can kind of see that because foes allow you to breed two what is it, like two aggressive mobs or two mobs that are not like, you know how like everybody can take, you can lead two horses and breed, or lead one horse and breed it with another, lead a cow and breed it with another, and that's fine. But if you lead,
you have the ability to like tame it.
Right, but if you lead a cave bug and tame it, let's say, you cannot breed it with another cave bug until that one's tamed. Well, foe priests have the ability to make everything appear blue to them, like non-aggro.
That's right.
And so you can just breed these things. So that would be the only.
You can also do that
benefit
if you follow the path of love, but for like an extremely short period of time.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
It's one of those high level ones.
Is it level 9? Is it level 9?
Nah, I can't remember.
Right. I know what you're talking about though. Humid drizzle. Okay, yeah, humid drizzle to groom ungroomable animals. But what's the benefit of that? Really, like
to have your own like little animal farm.
Right. But is that just in case they get diseased or what? Like, why would you want to groom it?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I have to look into the benefits of grooming. I don't know what it is.
All we used it for, or all people use it for, is to level up animal husbandry.
Right.
No, I don't know.
I know that sometimes grooming an animal makes them more allowed to breed. Like they are more in the mood to breed. I don't know what it is. All I know is that nacho priests are pretty overpowered, and so.
Yeah, and I haven't been a breeder or anything like that on my characters.
Or a priest person. I mean, I'm breeding horses.
Or a priest.
I'm breeding horses, but I don't think that I'll need humid drizzle for that.
Anyway, so basically, we've had some good updates. And we're hoping that it keeps going, and we're hoping to hear something about these talks that are going on behind closed doors.
Right.
On maybe the direction of Wurm, because that's quite a big deal. Hopefully in the next, I don't know, month or something. That would make sense. I can't remember if they announced when they were going to start talking about that, or I doubt that there's a deadline or anything.
No, definitely not.
So let's hope that the talks start and that the players have input.
Hopefully the players have already had input, like that the suggestions that are on the thread, and that the...
Yeah, but it should be an ongoing process, right? It shouldn't be players, this is what we want, and then the devs just like, oh, this is what they want, and this is what we want, and this is what we're gonna do. And that's it.
Well,
Let's announce
the
it
hope is
then.
that they sit down at the table together and they sift it through all the possibilities. You know what I mean? Like, here's a list of all the possible suggested updates and maybe people's ideas. And then they
Maybe
go through
narrow
them all.
down to like a top 3, and then let the players decide.
That's a little dangerous. I don't think Code Club has ever done that. Let the players fully decide. They've done votes.
It's not fully decide. It's they decide on 3 things that they would like to work on, and let the players decide which one out of those 3.
Right, but if you have a public vote where it's visible by all, and the public or the community clearly wants one item, then the devs will be forced into that.
Isn't that good for the game?
Maybe. I don't know.
Instead of going on an entire
Let's put it this way.
months and months working on something, only find later this is not what the players wanted you guys to work on.
Maybe. It's not. I'm not saying don't make a poll or something, but you can't expect that the results of the poll are going to dictate for sure the end result. Like, democracy does not work for everything.
It's true. It gives a general idea, and they have that in-game thing,
Right.
don't they?
Yeah, they do. They've
That'd be
used that a
better
few times.
to do that. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's all. It's just
Yeah.
it's been a nice week. Has a nice, I don't know, a nice bit of updates and a nice bit of news that has come out.
Yeah.
And we're just hoping that it continues throughout the fall months. It's been a good summer.
Yeah.
It's been a fun summer. The summer of bug fixes. You're
Yeah.
hoping that it still hasn't finished, have you?
I hope
You're
that.
hoping there's still another few bug fixes.
Absolutely. There's
Updates.
quite a few things that would be nice to have fixed. I'm sure that bug
There's
fixing
always
is
a bunch of new things.
Yeah, bug fixing is an ongoing thing. I don't think it ever stops.
I hope so too. But gotta move on. Gotta include those features,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm looking forward to. So, if we had to name one thing right now, what would it be?
What bug
A feature
fixing
that you
mean?
want right now.
A feature
that
I
you want
right
right now.
Oh, I still am going to go with the feature that I said before, and that's building underground.
So you're completely an underground person.
Totally.
That would be pretty awesome.
Totally.
I think that would be pretty awesome. I'm gonna go with sitting.
Okay.
I want to sit down. See, think of it this way: we had an update. They had a news update, and on Friday, right?
Mhm.
And there was a screenshot. The screenshot of the week. Did you take a look at that screenshot?
I did not look close enough, really. Okay, yes, I see it now.
How many chairs are in that screenshot?
Yeah, that's a good amount of chairs.
How many of them can I sit down in?
Yeah, none of them.
None of them. Exactly. I rest my case. I rest my case. And I think at that point, it's a good time to say,
Yeah.
I gotta go. My hand is literally falling off from holding up this phone. So I will let you guys go. It's been fun talking, even with my issues here. And
Hopefully
thanks everyone for joining
Hopefully they'll be settled for next
our
week. I don't
strange
know.
episode.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it should be set up hopefully for next week. I can't see why not. Where we will continue something. I can't wait to find out what. What are we going to do in Wurm? I'm hoping the labyrinth. We'll find out.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for taking on this episode, Adam.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, it's been crazy times. Crazy
Yeah.
times mining, crazy times in Wurm, and crazy times in life. Hopefully everyone still is going about. Everyone's doing well in the chat. Sorry, I can't see any of the chat. You're gonna have to. Adam's been having to say what's been going on.
Yep.
And as I look at this blank screen on my phone, wishing that instead I was looking at a game of Wurm.
Yeah.
I hope that everyone has a good week. I hope that we have just as an eventful week this week as last week in Wurm.
In terms of updates, yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and continue your mining, and I will continue trying to get back into Wurm soon.
Yeah.
All right, everyone play twice as much to make up for my absence. All right.
Sounds
we'll
like
see you guys hopefully next week.
Yeah. See you later.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.